A very good afternoon and welcome to UBC Lunchtime News. I am Brian Tumwine Biarhanga, and to our first story. A new multi-stakeholder assessment conducted across 4 regions by the International Republican Institute, led by Honorable Beatrice Chisaro, highlights rising mistrust among voters towards key public institutions. Participants pointed to the Electoral Commission's inability to curb the monetization of politics. Now, to halt the militarization of electoral processes and also ensure thorough vetting during the nominations. The report indicates that these weaknesses are driving voter frustration and reinforcing the belief that elections have become high stakes or a do or a die contest.
A former national. The volatile political climate has discouraged women and youth from contesting, leaving mostly men or wealth candidates in the race. I meet God Ichiriza, a former national female youth MP contestant. She criticized heavy monetization, saying voters prioritize money over issues.
That voters are so loyal to money than your manifesto. There is no way I never gave my manifesto. I had a printed manifesto, I was moving with my brochure, everything set. But did it gain me? Yes, it did, because they listened. They would tell you you're the best candidate for the seat, but you don't have money. If this person is giving us 200,000 and 250, and on the D-Day they're giving us 1 million, how much are you giving us? And this is a senior 4 dropout who is going to decide your fate or decide the fate of Ugandan youth MP in Parliament.
It's those people who are financially able that are going to continue, because we have said we are electing money and not leaders. We're actually electing dealers, not leadership has become dealership.
Election experts recommend strict enforcement of non-monetization and non-militarization of politics to level the playing field.
This is something that was reiterated throughout all the four regions. The fact that most of the youth are unemployed provides an avenue for the politicians and those contesting to use them. We also came to the realization that participants say that the only language voters listen to is money. If you go to vote, to campaign, you're not going to be listened to unless you give money.
But this time, we are going with a new technology that is tied to our serial numbers. Our thumbprints are tied to serial numbers, and we do not know how that technology works. So from where I sit, the ordinary voter, we are suspicious of everything the Electoral Commission and its selected observers are doing.
They also noted low citizen adherence to voter registration drives, which often triggers chaos on election day. Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News.
This is essential. Now let's go to our next story. Health Monitoring and the Pharmacy Board from the Ministry of Health, together with the Uganda Police, have arrested a one Dr. Henry Francis Kadaga for operating an unlicensed health facility. Now, Dr. Kadaga, who is unqualified, was operating a health facility in Mulago Health Center International, situated in Mulago Kawempe Division. Let's take a look.
Mulago Health Center International in Mulago Kawempe Division is generally a required facility where patients expect proper treatment and life-saving care. However, hidden in one corner was unlicensed health unit where Dr. Henry Francis Kadaga were carrying out medical procedures they were not qualified to perform.
He was doing any kind of surgery, whichever surgery you bring on any part of the body you could do it. He doesn't have any investigative machine, none. No scan, no x-ray, no laboratory, nothing. But he's doing surgery.
The Health Monitoring Unit, Allied Health Professionals Council, Pharmacy Board and Police conducted an operation in Kawempe Division where they found Dr. Kadaga running the illegal facility.
We found bad storage of medicines here. We found misdiagnosis of patients. we found a patient on whom a hysterectomy had been done under circumstances that are still very unclear to us.
Inside the premises, Dr. Kadaga was found conducting an appendicitis operation on a patient.
Actually suspended the operation and sent this patient to Mulago for further tests, upon which the results show that the scan results show that she's quite normal. Fortunately, this 1 million shillings has been refunded to her, and she's now under care and further tests at Mulago National Referral Hospital.
Because the place was not licensed, then even the people he was working with were fake.
A freezer meant for medicine contained food and saucepans.
And that is against the standards, the health standards that we set. Because ideally, to maintain 0 to 8 degrees, you should minimize the number of times you're opening that refrigerator. So meaning that there are chances of cross-infection between the medical products and the food that is in that refrigerator. So
Dr. Henry Francis Kadaga was working with Ajuna Andrew and Asani Bodongo, who escaped arrest.
Because the chair, the bed, the surgery bed, the bench, was almost rotting to maggots. It was dirty. It was everything that you cannot say, put your life to. In fact, it was the death row of that place.
Dr. Kadaga failed to explain why he was operating without a license.
And the most disappointing part, we found about 4 young ladies, about 20-30 years around there, when all of them had lost their uterus in the last 2 days, saying that the uterus had very big fibroids.
The public has been warned against unlicensed facilities during the festive season.
You hear you are not sure of the place where you are going to, please don't go. Please report. Please look for the license. See where you are going, where it is safe. Then also the hygiene of the place you are going to.
Look out for the credentials of these doctors who are going to perform surgical procedures on you. Even for the surgical procedures, seek a second opinion before.
Dr. Kadaga Henry Francis and Asani Bodungo already faced manslaughter charges after operating a pregnant woman at Sunset Health Center, who later died. He has been taken to Wandegeya police station and he will be arraigned in court. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansuga, UBC News.
From there now we head to Let's Talk Disability. Members of the public have been urged to embrace social and economic inclusion in communities through fostering communication skills for the sustainable development, especially to the disabled members. Now, this has been said by Ogwal Joseph, the sign language specialist, under the theme Empowering Deaf Voices, Innovation, Access and Equality. Let's take a look.
Unite. See smiles. Feel joy.
Have activities. For example, the silent dinner. It's a very vital program aimed at uniting the deaf and hearing. It brings them together whereby they share ideas. The hearing impaired community comes here, and for example, it's an opportunity for them to showcase their talents and many more things. We teach sign language. We also advocate for the hearing impaired. Of course, they go through a lot of challenges. The hearing impaired community needs advocacy.
Our organization has been focusing on helping schools with disabilities. And as we talk now, 2 years ago we began with our first project in Mbale School for the Deaf, where I donated a 10,000 liter water tank made of plastic bottles. And after that year, I went to Lira, where I identified a school called Nancy School for the Deaf. And as an organization, we have also donated 2 latrines for Nancy School for the Deaf, a latrine project. And as we speak right now, Nancy School for the Deaf has 10 pit latrines. And to us, it's a very big achievement.
As a coalition, we came up with a strategy of inviting all members on board, all SIGs, that is youth, people with disabilities, women, and elderly, all in our group, so that at least we can support each other.
Together with different partners to see that communication gap is really worked upon to our community.
Now let's talk education. Government, I beg your pardon, education stakeholders in Shema district are urging government to include deliberate skills and values-based lessons in the national curriculum, urging that this is essential for producing well-rounded learners capable of competing in today's rapidly evolving world. Crispus Adinitwe brings us to speed.
The 10-week dialogue targeted children aged 17 years and below, aiming to raise awareness on the significance of life skills and values and how they are nurtured at home, in communities and in schools. Initially, the program emphasized problem-solving, a crucial yet still underdeveloped skill among many young people. Education stakeholders note that structured life skills lessons could shape a values-driven generation.
As a country, we are losing out. And I request teachers embark on use of non-conventional methods such that learners, the so-called young adults, can gain some skills that will help them to cope up with the 21st century challenges.
Nichirungi kandi cyo kwiza kutungura ihanga nyinchakari aboko bantu manyango ihanga ya nyinchakari n'aba bana abitwine kandi abana abitwine beza kukura kubi bakora bine mico mbi.
Emerging insights show that although academics dominate, many learners complete school without essential competencies such as communication, decision-making, teamwork, ethical discipline, and practical problem-solving.
The
Weza Uganda campaign has helped parents to improve guidance at home and confidence among their children.
Megutirabi akorwa n'umwana nakora musya je onkaburi no makora re makuri onkatno na yimera kora musya yirabeka namaso mwino musomo katiyamba gwatuzana bana okuburraje n'okwakuzaje kurango bagiye mpimurungi
omuziro sheme kuba nonywana n'umwana wawe shayo no mwine n'umuganira atahomwe iwe n'umwana ushanga umwana shayo ayekunzire.
Educationists call for strengthened, structured life skills training to boost employability and help learners navigate personal and professional challenges.
One of the critical areas that we are facing in Uganda's education system is that the young adults, basically adolescents, are failing to cope up with the world because of lack of problem-solving skills.
Tukateraho step abana kubaragira ishomero ntumanya kubegesha kuba kozi yesiyani umugisha umwana w'umuco ko ari ahate umugisha ko ari asimure.
Now let's talk business. The National Social Security Fund has unveiled a 40 Good Deeds initiative as part of its activities to mark 40 years of existence. Now, Chiyunga Muslim Primary School in Mukono District is the first beneficiary, receiving a donation of 112 million shillings to improve its learning environment. Dennis Sigoa has the details.
National Social Security Fund's 40th anniversary comes with a package of countrywide goodwill activities. At the launch of the 40 Good Deeds initiative in Mukono District, the fund's management reflected on NSSF's remarkable journey, one that has seen the institution rise to become a regional leader.
As of today, the fund is 28.5 trillion. We have about 3.4 of 3.5 million members. We have paid, when I look at the numbers at the end of November, we had paid 799 billion in benefits, And actually, if you extend it up to today, the number actually increases to about 840 billion.
The fund is celebrating 4 decades of making lives better with a focus on members, staff, the brand, the public, and preparing for the future.
So the activities will be carried out by all the NSSF branches across the country, and they will include the following. The first is donation of assorted medical equipment to selected health centers, donation of essential equipment to selected schools that look after children with special needs, renovation of 5 public schools in each of the 5 regions. So we are very lucky that this is one of the first, 5 schools.
The 112 million shillings donation.
Thank you very much, Dennis, for that. Now, UBC Lunchtime News has come to the very end, but we are going for a live broadcast that is in Bulisa District, where candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for the National Resistance Movement is campaigning.
Asante sana President. Mheshimiwa President, asante sana kuja. Webale mnokuija. White Yoweri Kaguta Museveni akiki.